Scott?
Don't tell me you know the sound of my footsteps.
Yeah, well, I'm beginning to. Are you through now?
I'm sorry, Gina. It's going to take a lot longer than I thought. Dr. Marks isn't back yet, and I have to cover for her till she gets here. Look, why don't you go down to Johnny's, and I'll meet you there as soon as I can, okay? There's still some things I'd like to talk to you about. Like how you felt about what I said before the hospital called.
I think you know how I feel. How long are you going to be?
As soon as Dr. Marks gives her deposition and gets back, I'm out of here.
Must be a pretty important investigation if they're pulling her off the job.
Oh, it is. There's been so many people coming in here sick on bad cocaine. As soon as the police can find out who's pushing the stuff, the faster we can get it off the streets.
Do you think that's what was wrong with Victoria Lane when she came in yesterday?
I'm not sure, but it's possible. I wish I could see her again, though. I'd like to try and talk her into getting some kind of help. I think she really needs it.
Where is he? Oh! Oh, God. Oh, I don't need any more bad luck. What I do need is...
Glad you're still here.
Well, I'm glad you're glad.
I want to talk about what happened yesterday.
Mason, you don't have to talk about that. We don't...
Chip could have been seriously hurt.
I know that. I'm sorry that that happened, and I'm glad that he's all right.
At first, I blamed Victoria and was furious with her, but when she told me it wasn't her fault... Well, it just didn't seem like the right time to tell her about you and me.
You don't have to explain this to me. I don't want to hear about it. I didn't ask you to choose between Victoria and me. You told me that it was something that you needed to do.
It was. And it is.
Mason, please don't turn this into a tug-of-war between the two of us. It's humiliating. And it's not what this is about.
You're right. But it's not as simple as you'd like it to be, either.
I really wish I could make this easier for you. But I can't. I just can't listen to a blow-by-blow description of the events that happened in your house with your wife and your son. I can't do that anymore. So, if you could just do what you need to do, and then just let me know what you decide, okay?
Get your hands up, both of you.
Yeah, you bet, man. Listen, you know, believe it or not, this isn't what it seems. We can explain what we're doing.
But you can tell that to the cops. They'll be here in a minute.
Okay, look at... Let me try to explain.
Oh.
You got the tape recorder?
No. What's wrong with me, ТиДжей? I wanted it to work with Ted so bad. And I did everything I could to screw it up.
Babe, there's nothing wrong with you. I just don't think you're comfortable being yourself, and that's why you keep trying to be someone else.
Maybe who I am just isn't good enough.
Wait a minute. Now, are we talking about this incredibly gorgeous bundle of wit, charm, and brains sitting here in front of me, huh? As far as I'm concerned, you were perfect.
I'm so perfect, why did you let me go?
Because I'm an idiot. Think we're starting a new adventure with the lair? This is just the beginning for us.
I don't think I can deal with this right now.
Okay. Not only am I real good at giving space, but I'm also real good at giving time. So what do you say for right now? I'll just be a good friend, all right?
You want to go sit with them?
No, it looks like they want to be alone.
Hayley, for all we know, they're talking about losing money in the stock market. I mean, was it always bother you to see them sitting together?
Well, when are they not together, Jake? It's unfair to Ted.
What about what's unfair to me? You know, I thought we talked this out before, and you agreed to back off on being your ex-husband's keeper. Huh?
All right, I won't bore you with any of my personal problems, but as a friend, you ought to know what happened.
All right, what happened?
When I got home last night, I found Chip crawling toward a pile of broken glass. For some unfathomable reason, the nanny had left him all by himself in the apartment.
That doesn't sound like something Mrs. Whitcomb would do.
No, it doesn't. But apparently she did.
Did you talk to her?
Only long enough to fire her. I should have pressed charges, but I'm afraid if I see her again, I'll strangle her.
Come in.
Sorry to bother you, but there's no one at the front desk, and, I really need to talk with a lawyer.
Well, the office is closed. Why don't you come back tomorrow?
I'm a lawyer. Please, come in.
Thank you. My name is Rita Grant.
Julia Wainwright.
Hi.
This is Mason Capra.
Hello.
How do you do?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
How far along are you?
I have a little more than a month to go, which is why I'm here. See, I'm a surrogate mother. And I have a contract that I signed. And I want to break it. I can't give up this baby.
May I see the contract?
And I know that it's wrong to go back on a promise, and these people are very nice. The couple that I agreed to give the baby to. Otherwise, I never would have agreed. But they've got a lot of money. You know, they could afford another surrogate, or maybe they could adopt. I've just been feeling this little one grow inside of me, month after month. And even though I try not to think of it as mine, I try not to love it. I do. And I can't help it, and I just can't give it away. You know, I thought I could handle it. I really did. But I was so wrong. And I know what happened in that baby M case that got so much publicity. You know, that's why I'm here now. I mean, maybe if there's enough time, I could do something to avoid such a horrible situation. I don't want to do anything desperate. I don't want to run away. And I don't want to see my baby's pictures and her name splattered all over the paper.
That's understandable.
I'm sorry. But do you have children, Miss Wainwright?
Yes, I have a daughter.
So you know.
Yes, I know what it's like to love your baby. I will look over this contract, Mrs. Grant, and I'll be happy to give you my opinion.
Okay, I have a little money.
I do a certain amount of pro bono cases a year, cases where I feel the issues are relevant, and in these particular cases, I waive my regular fees.
Oh, that would be terrific.
I have just one more question, Mrs. Grant. I'm assumed that the man who has paid you for this child and is expecting to take possession of it is the biological father.
Yes, he is.
Well, I just wondered, because you keep referring to the child as your baby.
I will get back to you, Mrs. Grant, as soon as I look over this contract, probably tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much. I would appreciate whatever you could do. I'm really so grateful. Thank you, Miss Wainwright. And good night, Mr.
Capwell.
Capwell. Good night.
And I'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
You're not going to take this on, are you?
If I recall, you said that you had no interest in this case, Mason, so why don't you just give it a rest?
No, but if you take this case on, then the firm has an interest in it, even if I don't. And I think it's a bad deal from every angle. As your senior here, I'm going to have to insist that you drop the case before you become any more deeply involved.
Are you sure Castillo wasn't one of them?
Yeah, he made positive ID.
Let me get... You were holding a gun on Castillo and his sidekick, Ed, and they managed to get away? I don't...
Yes, but this guy was quick. He kicked the gun out of my hand.
Defensive? Listen, I had a run-in with Plastic Man yesterday.
I think I have a concussion.
Well, we'll take care of you. Were you able to identify this woman that he was with?
No, I never saw her before.
Well, here, will this, help?
Yeah, that's her.
You made me a very happy man. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Schatz. This is my office. I got a phone call a few minutes ago saying it had been broken into.
Yeah, it sure was. We know by whom, but we don't know why. Maybe you can help us. Was anything missing?
Well, I had a few rather valuable pieces of artwork around. They all seem to be here. It'll take time to ascertain if anything's been removed from my files.
Do you recognize one of these two beauties?
It's the woman that was here today asking for referrals. Eden Capwell. She was in a wheelchair.
Not when I saw her.
She was being carried?
No, she was standing and walking around.
Walking? I have now used up my lifetime allotment of dumb. Get on the phone, call down to headquarters, tell them to put out an arrest warrant for aiding and abetting, and breaking and entering.
The accused?
Eden Capwell, you moron. Who else?
Спасибо. Или он здесь и был?
Это я дала его тебе, Джина. Привет, это Виктория Кэпвелл.
Привет, как дела? Не хочешь присесть и поболтать минутку?
Конечно. Извини меня, мне нужно было зайти навестить тебя и сказать, как я сожалею о том, что с тобой случилось.
Спасибо. Врачи говорят, что зрение со временем вернется.
Отлично.
Но я неплохо справляюсь. А ты как?
Прекрасно, прекрасно. Много времени отнимают ребенок и фильм, но я не жалуюсь.
Весь фокус в том, чтобы найти человека, который тебя любит.
Да. А как ты, Джина? Ведь в твоей жизни всегда было много мужчин.
Забавно, что создается такое впечатление. Знаешь, самые чудесные вещи произошли со мной, когда я потеряла зрение. Я извлекла из этого...
I think that's amazing. I don't know, I don't think I could cope. I don't think I'm as strong as you are.
Oh, that's not true. I hate to tell you how many times I fell flat on my face in the coping department. I even tried drugs at one time. That was a nightmare. And it was just awful, and I didn't realize it until it was too late.
Too late how?
Well, my son, Brandon, he got a hold of some of the stuff I was using, and he took it, and he started to hallucinate, and he was out on the roof. He could have been killed.
Oh, my God.
That's when they took him away from me the first time. I never got him back, really.
I couldn't bear the thought of losing my son.
Well, I'm sure that won't happen. I mean, I was ignorant and foolish. I spent all my time trying to cover up my problem instead of trying to do something about it. That's the thing that's so ridiculous. I mean, everybody has a lot of inner strength. It's just a matter of tapping into it and realizing that people around you who love you, they're going to be there for you when you're going through your bad times.
The woman's been stringing that couple along for 8 months now. Now that they have the bassinet ready, she wants to back out of the deal.
It's not an arbitrary decision on her part, Meyson. You saw her sitting here. She's suffering.
Does that mean everybody else should suffer too, Julia? Baby would be much better off with the parents who are waiting for it.
Oh, do you have some inside information on this than I do?
She admits that she's had difficulty doing that, or she wouldn't have struck this deal in the first place.
A person does not have to be married in order to be a good parent. Or rich or a snob.
Am I a snob because I believe that a child has a better chance in the world with 2 loving, responsible parents to take care of it? The husband and wife who entered into that contract in good faith desperately want that child. Can you imagine how heartbroken they'll be if it's taken away from them?
Yes, I can. As heartbroken as Mrs. Grant will be when she's forced to give up her baby.
Her baby? Doesn't the father have any rights in this case, Julia? Without him, there wouldn't be a baby.
Of course he does.
And a contract?
You have a contract with me about our child.
Are you sorry that I love Samantha?
No. No, I'm not sorry. Why are we talking about us?
Because you compared me to Mrs. Grant.
Mason, you of all people should know what it feels like to let your emotions get in the way of a business agreement.
And if we had a simple business agreement instead of a relationship, Julia, I'd stick to my end of it.
I don't know about that. I think that if you made a mistake, you'd try to back out of it.
The same way I am with Victoria. You see how easy it is for me to turn my back on that commitment.
I don't think it's easy at all.
Then why are you turning this into a personal dispute? I'm talking in the abstract.
All right, then, abstractly. I think the law in the area of surrogates is inadequate at best. Shouldn't happen, and I want to do whatever it is that I can to try to reform it.
Oh. Now I see why you're so eager to take this case on. You look at it as another chance to slip some of your feminist cant in the back door.
Mrs. Grant walked right in through the front door.
It's a no-win situation, Julia. Even Solomon couldn't solve a surrogate case to everyone's satisfaction. So why drag the firm through all that bad publicity? Now, if you insist on pursuing this, I'm going to have to go to the board. And I'm sure they'll agree with me.
Go to the board! Mason, go to the president of the ABA. I don't care, Mason. Go to your own office. I'm taking on this case. I have made this decision, and there is not much you can do to stop me, is there?
Like Dr. Schatz has some sort of code or something.
Okay, well, let's try let's see what's on the tape. This is the first session.
Lena, when you came to me, you said you were feeling as if you were losing control.
I've always been a very self-contained person, Doctor. No one really knows me, not even my father. Especially not my father. But now I feel like parts of me are breaking off, and everything seems as if it's closing in.
When did you begin to feel this frightening feeling?
After I got the letter from Pamela, my mother, although I never referred to her as my mother. When I read it, I hated her for deserting me. I'd learned to live without her, and I wasn't going to give her another chance to hurt me.
Step back to this particular letter. You said your mother revealed something you hadn't known before. Something that devastated you.
Yes. And after that, the feelings of rage just completely overwhelmed me, and I knew that I would go crazy if I didn't get revenge.
Wasn't the fact of her dying revenge enough for you?
No, my rage wasn't against Pamela this time. It was against my father.
Alex Nicholas?
No, against my real father.
What was that?
Was and is C.C. Caswell.
The woman who tried to kill me, who tried to kill all of us, was my sister.
Salut Hayley. Je voulais te dire bonjour tout à l'heure, mais tu étais en pleine conversation avec Jake et je ne voulais pas vous déranger.
Salut ТиДжей.
Je me présente, ТиДжей Daniels, ravi de vous rencontrer.
Julia Wainwright.
Vous avez un beau sourire.
Merci.
Oui, Jake et Hayley sont de vieux amis, on se connaît depuis longtemps. Je suis l'agent de Jake et je lui dégote de bons petits rôles, ça se passe assez bien pour lui.
Comme c'est intéressant.
You ladies mind if I join you?
No, not at all.
Thanks.
Pull up a chair. In fact, you might be able to help us out here.
I'd love to.
I have this contact sheet of pictures of my little girl. There's, what, 200, 300 shots, and we just can't decide. So I thought maybe you had a good eye and could help us.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm a lot better with those babies that are over 18. So maybe I'll let Hayley handle this assignment, and I'll go over and keep Jay company. All right? Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, too. ТиДжей.
Jay.
Jay.
Hayley.
Thank you very much. The truth is I do have 200, 300 shots of Samantha, but they're at home. Aren't you lucky? So that's the ТиДжей of Tahoe fame, huh?
Yes.
I think there's more to him than meets the eye.
Probably not. What you see is what you get. He's the type of guy that likes to have everything his way, and I don't think he'll make a commitment to anyone or anything for the rest of his life. I'm familiar with the type. So, what's the question? Well, I was down at the university and I saw posted on the bulletin board that your law firm is looking for a researcher. And I thought maybe about applying. Do it. That would be great. You'd make a great researcher. Yeah. I mean, that's what I wanted to hear you say, if you thought I could handle the job or not.
You can handle it, I have no doubt. And if I still have my job in the firm after tomorrow, I'll make sure that I give you the best recommendation.
Did you get home?
A few minutes ago, I thought you'd be here.
Oh, well, I had to do a few errands. Is the sitter still here?
No, I paid her to send her home.
Good. You hungry? Would you like me to get you some dinner?
Not right now. I'm just kind of tired and grubby. I think I'll go wash up.
Something wrong?
It's nothing you've done, Victoria. I'm just out of sorts.
Okay. Well, why don't you go freshen up? I'm sure you'll feel better. Mrs. Whitcomb.
I'm sorry to show up at your door unannounced, Mrs. Catpool, but no one has returned my calls, and I'm afraid there's been some awful misunderstanding.
Oh, you know, I understand. I really understand. I can't understand what's going on either, but my husband, when he gets it in his mind to do things like this, Here, please take this until you find another position. I'll send you more, I promise you.
Mrs. Catpool, thank you, but I really have to talk to your husband.
I'm sorry, he's not home.
Victoria, we seem to be out. I don't believe you have the audacity to come back over here.
Darling, Mrs. Whitcomb was just leaving.
I asked her never to come back.
Mr. Catpool, I've been deeply distressed since you called yesterday and attacked me. No one has ever treated me this way before. I really think you owe me the courtesy of an explanation.
The only courtesy I'll give you is to not throw you bodily out of here. I won't have you in the same house with my son.
But I don't understand. When I left yesterday, everything was
Exactly, Mrs. Whitcomb. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Just leave.
Figure out why she was so obsessed with our family, why she wanted to hurt us. I would have never believed the truth was that she was my sister.
Yeah, well, see, nobody could have believed this whole thing. It's just too crazy. At least it explains why she called Cece over to the Laser Palace that night, and hopefully it'll explain a lot more.
Cruz, how am I going to tell Daddy about this?
Well, maybe he already knows.
Do you think that's possible? No, that it can't be. He couldn't know. Elena didn't want any of us to find out.
Well, okay, let's just see if we got some answers here on the second tape.
Together constantly. We were both very lonely and we wanted each other. I know he wanted me. He just wouldn't give in to his real feelings, to his real needs.
What do you think stood in the way?
I don't think, I know. The Catwells. Eden, to be precise. I'll bet Cece prayed that Pamela's unborn brat would die at birth. In fact, for all he knew or cared, I did. He already had a son, Meyson, and he was just about to start spawning another litter with Sophia. So what did he need me for? Much easier to just ignore my existence, to deny my rightful place in the world.
The way you believed, Eden denied you the man you loved.
Yes. And do you know that she came back from the dead to do it? It was all happening just the way I planned it. Until Eden showed up, and then everything started to fall apart. Eden ruined my life. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a room that keeps getting smaller every minute. There are hundreds of doors in this room, but they're all locked. So I look around, and finally I see a way out. The only way out.
Describe the way out, please.
Our time's up, Doctor. I see by your clock. You're going to have to wait till the next session to hear me out. You think you can bear it?
Damn it, we're so close, you know? Obviously, the third session is going to be the key.
Yeah, but the tapes and the notes from it are missing. What are we going to do?
I don't think we have any choice. We're going to have to take a risk and go see Dr. Schatz.
You know, I cannot believe that this man didn't come forward at the beginning of this trial. These tapes would have poked holes in the prosecution's case. She admitted that she didn't even have an affair with you.
Well, maybe he's a stickler for confidentiality, even though his patient is dead.
Yeah, well, he should be arrested for withholding information. I think we should take these 2 tapes to the police and force him to produce the last one.
No, baby. We can't afford to turn these things over until we make sure we got the goods on her on the third tape. The only person who can tell us if that's going to happen is Schatz himself. We're going to have to go and see him.
Yeah, well, the police are going to have the place staked out, don't you think?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't work that way. They'll never expect us to go to the same place 2 times in one night.
Well, what if he won't help?
He has to help.
Hey, isn't that young woman I used to know when she lived around these parts? Huh?
I don't know. What does she look like?
Well, she upped and ran away with her little baby girl because her life got the pressures got too complicated.
Well, then I couldn't possibly be that same woman, because here I sit with all the pressures of my very complicated life resting squarely on my stooped shoulders.
Well, welcome back, Julia. You know something? I was sad with just the thought of you leaving.
I was sad leaving you, too. But I wish I could say that I was thrilled to be here.
Well, you're not a quitter. That's where you're at.
Sometimes I think that's my worst flaw.
Hmm? Well, you know what they say? If you take your problems somewhere else, you still may as well work them out here because they're going to be with you. Something like that.
Or wait them out. Anyhow, I think sitting tight is the best thing to do for Samantha right now and for my job.
And because you haven't given up hope. Huh?
Guess who?
I don't have to guess. I went to one person who's crass and insensitive enough to pull a joke on a blind person to make fun of someone.
Stop. I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun with you. Come on, you used to like my sense of humor.
I never liked your sense of humor.
Well, you certainly like something. I mean, I noted a smile of delight and satisfaction on a certain key moment.
Yeah, before I knew any better.
Oh, come on. Don't be mean to me. I've been chasing fugitives all day. Besides, I was looking forward to some quality time with you tonight.
Well, I'm sorry, Keith, but my date's going to be here any minute.
Well, I think young Dr. Kildare is going to be on call all evening.
He'll be here as soon as he gets finished covering. How would you know about that?
Masculine intuition. I mean, where else would he be, darling?
You're lying, Keith. I know you. What did you do?
Honey, you pushed me into a corner. What?
You called the deposition. You made him cover for the doctor so he'd be stuck there all night. You did it, didn't you?
I was desperate.
I can't believe it. I made this wonderful dinner. We had this beautiful evening planned together, and you ruined it.
You want me to feel bad because I broke up a rendezvous between you and Kid's stethoscope? I'm jealous. I mean, I got that little green worm eating away inside me. I missed you. Listen, I want to make it up to you, the fight we had, okay? I mean, listen, you want to have a good evening. You can have a wonderful evening with me. It goes all the way to the morning, okay? Make breakfast for me. We had some good times. Remember all the good times you had with...
Oh.
Matador.
Knock it off, would you? The bullfight's over, sweetheart. I don't want to play fantasy games anymore.
You know, you are living the biggest fantasy and the oldest fantasy in the world. What? Helpless patient falls in love with savior physician? Come on, that's Betty Davis.
You couldn't know what we have.
Oh, I think I know what you have. I walked in on it the other day. You know? The bull is dead. Long live the bull.
Just shut up, Keith. You know, if I had one shred of doubt about dumping you, it has disappeared because I can't even stand being around you. I don't want you in my presence. Just go. Go.
Miss Lane?
You know who I am?
Well, I put it together. I saw you on your TV show a few times. I was very concerned about you. I'm glad that you came back.
Well, I didn't have much choice.
Still, it was a very brave thing.
No, I'm not brave, Doctor. I am scared. A lot of terrifying things have happened in the past couple of days, and I can't go on lying to myself. I am hooked on cocaine. Oh, this is humiliating.
What's important is that you made the decision to go for help.
Good. So what do we do now?
Why don't you have a seat, and I'll explain it to you, okay? Now, the first step is to have a talk with the staff psychiatrist. Then she'll put you into some kind of a program.
A drug rehabilitation program?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, you know, I've heard about those things, but they were always for strangers that I pitied. And now I'm one of them. I can't believe this, you know.
Don't hate yourself, Miss Lane. We all have weaknesses. What makes the difference is how we cope with them.
Well, mine almost caused a terrible tragedy, and I can't let that happen again.
Then you won't. Now, you're going to be working with the best people. And, of course, I'll be there for general support and encouragement when you need it.
Okay. One thing, Doctor, my husband is from a very prominent local family, and I would really like to keep my career going, you know. So
Your privacy will be protected, and I promise I'll be very discreet, okay?
Thank you. I'm very, very grateful for everything.
You just hang in there. You're on your way now. Now, if you just wait here, I'll make arrangements for your first session.
Don't worry. I'm not going to run away this time.
Good.
There's a light on.
Yeah, it could be Keith in a room full of police.
Yeah, but there's nobody outside and there's no voices in there. I bet he's in there.
Look, I just don't get a good feeling about this, okay? Why don't we just go and we'll come back when everything's cooled down?
I'm too close now, Eden. I gotta go in there.
Well, then let's just get it over with.
I love you.
I love
you. Dr. Schatz?
Извини, что задержался.
So how's everything at the hospital?
Just basic routine, I guess.
Anything more than that bad cocaine?
No, nothing specifically.
What is it? What's with you?
All right. This has to remain strictly between us, okay?
Scott, I would never tell anybody anything you told me about your work.
Good. Victoria Lane came back.
Great. Is she all right?
I think she's going to be fine. She came in on her own free will to ask for help.
Good.
She said something about being married to somebody from a prominent family. Do you know who it is?
Sure. She was married to someone in the same prominent family I got mixed up with. Cece's son. She's Mrs. Mason Capwell. What can I get for you two?
Yeah, I'll have a mineral water with lime and the same thing for her, whatever it is.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm really happy I'm talking to you about this. Maybe you can give me some information.
I'll try.
Now, I didn't want to get into it with her tonight, but she's going to need a lot of support. Do you think that he'll stand by her now?
Has she even told him yet?
I doubt it, but I think she's going to have to at some point.
Well, Mason's got an emotional range that runs from A to B. You can tell how strongly he's reacting to a situation by how high he arches his eyebrows. I mean, if there's something in it for him, sure, he'll stand by her. But if not, I mean, if she's of no use to him, he'll just simply drop her.
He must have really hurt you.
I thought I was telling you something about Mason, and I guess I ended up telling you something about me. As much as I hate to admit it, we were kind of an item once. But that was a long time ago. And any feelings I had towards him are long gone. The good ones, anyway. I hope you believe me.
Gina, part of what I love about you is that you've had a full life. Not like many of the other women that I've known.
There you go.
Thank you.
You know, you have a wonderful way of turning things around. I love that in you. Just hope I can be as creative and broad-minded when it comes to your past.
Gina, you have nothing to feel threatened by. Next to you, all the other women are just plain dull. Believe me, Gina, you have no competition.
Is he alive?
Yeah, barely call an ambulance, baby. Doctor, I'm sorry. Listen.
Yes.
We're gonna get you some help. Who did this to you?
Don't know.
Yes, sir.
Didn't see them.
Dr. Sharp.
Maybe the people who broke in tonight.
No, that was us. We broke in tonight. See, Doctor, I've been convicted of the murder of Elena Nicholas, but I didn't kill her. Now, we know that you had 3 sessions with her. We got a hold of the tapes of the first 2. We listened to them. We need to know what was said in the 3rd session. It might save my life.
They'll be here. Just a minute.
3rd session? I couldn't make out a word of it. It hypnotized her. She spoke in a language I never heard before.
Do you know where the tape is? Doc, hang on. There's an ad.
We gotta get out of here.
He's gone.
Come on, Cruz, we gotta get out of here.
Okay, but...
Come on.
Wait a second, what is that doing here?
Come on.
Look at that.
Get out of here.
What the hell is that doing here?
Вы, должно быть, завалены работой, если до сих пор...
I'm very sorry to disturb you.
All right, Mrs. Whitcomb. I do have a lot of work to do, though.
I won't take up much of your time, Miss Wainwright. I simply didn't know where else to turn. I'm coming to you because you're a friend of the Capwells as well as a business associate of Mr. Capwell's. Did you know that they fired me yesterday?
Yes, I heard about that this evening.
Did he tell you why?
Yes, he said that you had left the baby alone in the apartment.
What?
And that isn't true.
Well, never in a million years would I ever do such a thing.
Mrs. Whitcomb, did you tell Mr. Capwell that?
Oh, no, I didn't even know what I was being accused of. I went there today to try to get an answer and he wouldn't talk to me. Mrs. Capwell just shoved some money in my hand and obviously wanted me to leave.
Well, maybe when things calm down, you can go back and you can talk to them and get this...
I have to get this settled immediately, Miss Wainwright. This is my livelihood. My good name and reputation is all I have. If I can't produce excellent references, I won't be able to get another job. I may need to seek legal representation.
Before you do that, let me check into that. Who was the last person that you left the baby with yesterday?
Mrs. Capwell. I didn't want to leave because she was very upset, particularly about Mr. Capwell not being at home. But she wanted me to leave and there was nothing I could do. To tell you the truth, I've been really quite worried about her lately. I mean, her behavior's been... I don't know how to describe it. Off somehow. It's erratic. She's either extremely agitated and nervous or unconcerned, almost euphoric. Perhaps I should have talked to somebody about it sooner, but I really didn't think it was my place.
What would you have talked to them about?
Oh, I'm not sure. The only time that I ever saw behavior like that was when I worked for a family where one of the older children was discovered to be taking drugs.
How's your headache?
It's a little better, thanks. Okay. I'm still kind of beat. I think I'll turn in early.
Yeah, me too, but I'm gonna check on the baby first.
What is this, more broken glass?
What?
Looks like pieces of a mirror.
Yeah, I broke it earlier tonight. I thought I'd gotten everything up.
You ought to be more careful. That's 7 years bad luck. Aren't you superstitious?
I'm making my own luck now.
Do you have any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
But this is the same symbol that was on Dr. Schatz's wall, right?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure of that. Question is, what does it stand for? And who the hell put it there?
Are you calling headquarters, or are you just listening to the weather report?
No, they've got me on hold, Mr. Tillman.
I don't...
They said it'd be a few minutes.
Believe in hold. Sorry, against my principles. Hello, this is the district attorney. I would like to speak to Samuel, and no excuses, okay? Well, no, tell him that his vacation is canceled if he isn't on the phone in 10 seconds. Samuels! Always a pleasure to hear your voice. Listen, if you can see your way clear, would you please tell me right away whether or not they found anything on the fingerprint check in Schatz' office? Yeah. You don't say. No. Thank you. That's very good work. Go on your vacation. I'm sure you'll enjoy the Rockies. They found Castillo's fingerprints on the doorknob. They weren't there after he broke in earlier. Oh, what a tasty dish to set before the king.
No TV for a week. Can he get himself off the hook? Then it's the emotionally charged true story of a blind couple determined to have children. Mayor Winningham and Keith Carradine star in the world premiere movie, Eye on the Sparrow. Then President Reagan and General Secretary Gorbachev's historic meeting. How will it affect the future of our two nations? An NBC News special on the summit tonight on NBC.